I've created the best tool for new people that are considering moving to the Indy metro area, just like you. And in this video, I'm going to share my secret. If you're new here, I'm Cameron Geesaman, Indy area resident and local realtor who loves making videos like this to help people like you who are deciding whether to move to, from, or around the Indy metro area. Now, thanks for joining me today. If you clicked on this video, then you probably fit or fall into that category of people that may be thinking about moving to the Indy area. And I hope this video helps you in your search. So let's get started. If someone like you reaches out and inquires about moving to the area and you haven't ever been here, it's kind of hard to know where to go, what to see, what parts of town to go to. And so at one point had a client that asked me that. And so I made them a Google map. And so that's what we're gonna walk through today. And I'm gonna show you what that would kind of look like. I make the map and then I send a detailed email that walks through each one of the locations that I've marked on the map so that you have an exact location and an address that you can actually put into your GPS so that you can kind of take a tour of the Indianapolis area. Now, every single map is going to be a little bit different. It's going to be personalized to you because my hope is that you reach out to us by calling, texting, or emailing, and we jump on a phone call real quick and we have a conversation about what's important to you. That way I can put together this map specifically for your needs and what you're looking for. Now, today, we started with the Indianapolis airport, which, by the way, it is one of the best airports in the nation. So when you fly in, you're already gonna start off happy because it's a really clean airport and it's really nice. Even this year during the basketball tournament, they put a basketball court in the airport. Some of our favorite restaurants at the airport is Cafe Patachou. They've got a little restaurant in there. It's a great location to grab, a breakfast or even lunch. And then there's restaurants, of course, in the concourse area that has all sorts of stuff that you can pick from as well. But so the point of this map is to get you from point A to point B easily, and you're not fumbling or trying to search to try to find a place. This makes it real easy. So we started with Indianapolis, and like I forgot to mention, I am focusing on a client. I did this one for a client, so this one's specific for them. But they wanted to explore kind of downtown Indianapolis, and then they wanted to look at the north side. They can't decide if they want either they want Hamilton County, but they're not sure, Westfield, Fishers, Noblesville, Carmel. And so that's what we did for them today, is give them a view of kind of a little bit of each area so they could kind of explore the area. Now, with this map, I do want to say, I'm not telling you have to go to that location and not drive around. I expressed to these clients, drive to that location and then drive around a little bit in that area so you can get an idea of the neighborhoods and the community and who's out and about. Maybe stop and have dinner and talk to some of the locals. So those are some tips that I give for especially relocation clients that have never been here, that don't know what it's like. The more you can kind of immerse yourself while you're here, the better chance you're going to have to really understand our dynamics and who we are as a city. So you can see here, I started at the Indianapolis airport. It is, if I zoom out real quick, you can see it is on the southwest side of Indianapolis. So you come in and we're gonna head straight to downtown. So the first location that I took them for these people was Lucas Oil. They are huge football fans, and so they see themselves going to a Colts game. And so I wanted to show them exactly what that area looks like in downtown Indianapolis. Also, with being by Lucas Oil, there's so much to do, so you can stop for a second and actually go to either like the Gainbridge Fieldhouse, that's where the Pacers play. There's tons to do. You honestly, at this point from Lucas Oil, could walk to Monument Circle, but I, of course, for this purpose, have you driving to Monument Circle. But Monument Circle is considered downtown Indianapolis. It's really cute. They do a Christmas tree lighting in the winter time for Christmas. There's tons of activities, tons of shops that you can do walking around that area. So that's Monument Circle. There's Military Park. There's a little park that's north of Monument Circle that I've mentioned in some of my videos as well. But that'll give you a good idea of what's in and around the downtown Indianapolis. Now, one of my favorite areas, I'm going to zoom out just a little bit, you can see here, is Massachusetts Avenue. Now, this is probably one of the prominent areas of downtown Indianapolis. There's more, a lot of people will say there's a lot more eclectic food options, which there are. It's kind of got a hippie vibe. There's tons of little quaint shops like Silver in the City, great shop to go to. They've got lots of local memorabilia and stuff, but then it's also got, of course, jewelry and gift stuff. It's one of my favorite places to stop and get a gift. There's a secondary one that's also in Carmel as well, but if you just drive along Mass Ave, it's such a great spot, and it'll give you kind of an idea of what that nightlife seems. So I always tell people there's another area called Broad Ripple. That's where the college kids go, but then once you get into your 30s, you move up in the world and you go to Mass Ave is what it's called. There's also great comedy clubs and art places on Mass Ave so that you can visit as well. So after that, I take you down Meridian, which Meridian here in Indianapolis is the prominent thoroughfare that actually runs all the way through Indianapolis from the north to the south. So you technically could go from point A to point B. Most people take the loop, which if you call me, I'll probably have the same conversation with you saying, now the loop is 465. So if you ever hear me say inside the loop or outside the loop, that is what it is in reference to, because 465, as you can see here, this is 465. It goes all the way. Actually, let me zoom out. See how it goes all the way around the city. And then you have offshoots throughout the whole city. So we've started at the airport. We are downtown, and now we're heading north through Meridian Hills. The benefit with Meridian is if you want to see stately homes, Meridian is one of those areas. You can drive down. You probably could get one for $500,000 or $600,000. That would be on the really low end. I don't even know if they have them, but then they go up to the 3 and 4 millions. And so they're just beautiful homes. It's lined with trees, and it's probably one of the most prominent areas here in the Indianapolis area. Then I took you over, once you shoot through here, through Meridian, you're gonna go past places like Broad Ripple. You can see here it says Rocky Ripple. Broad Ripple is another area. I mentioned it a moment ago. That's where a lot of the college students go. There's a lot of, it's a popular area. Actually, my dad grew up and went to Broad Ripple High School there, and there's little bungalows, houses. There's also the White River flows through there. And so it's just really cool vintage vibe that, again, that you can have. It's got its own little ecosystem there in Broad Ripple. Great places when you're in college to go and grab a drink, but then they also still have really cool restaurants and shops, tons of dining, so many options. One of our favorite places that's close by there is the Jazz Kitchen, and there's like shows that you could go to. So there's so many opportunities there in Broad Ripple. So then going further north, I took you through Nora only because I'm gonna take you over to Keystone, but Nora is again another area. This is considered Washington Township, a great school district, and a great little area. And then over to Keystone Mall. So Keystone Mall, for anybody that is not from here, it's our bougie mall. It's an indoor mall, but that's where you're gonna get your Saks and your Crate and Barrel and Nordstrom's and Tiffany's. So then we're gonna head north to Fishers. So you're gonna see here, let me zoom out real quick. You're gonna see, it's gonna take you on that 465 or the loop. So that's just this little stint, but then you're gonna get off 465 on what's called 69. You're gonna head north. It's kind of actually northeast, but then you're gonna head into Fishers. I'm gonna zoom out here. So you're gonna see one of the biggest areas that we have is Geist in Fishers. It actually splits up between, part of it is Lawrence Township. That's a school district. It's an Indianapolis public school district. And then the other half goes to Fishers. And so you notice, let me zoom out a little bit more. There's not many lakes like in Indiana. We're not like Michigan. You've got Geist here, you've got Morris up here, which we're gonna hit on Morris a little bit, and then you've got Eagle Creek here. Other than that, like there's little lakes and there are little man-made areas. Actually, these aren't considered lakes because they're reservoirs, but that gives you an idea of here's our lakes. So one of them is in Fishers. You know, for the client that wants the lake life, I will put a mark on the map that indicates where that, like, there's a little area where there's shops and dining. Wolfie's restaurant is phenomenal. There's actually one on Morris and on Geist, and so that's a great location to go. So if you are wanting lake life, make sure that you tell me that, and we can make sure to approach and take you to some of those areas. Or for this client, we just went to downtown Fishers. They wanted to experience what Fishers was like. So you're also gonna notice when you get off on this, this is the 69 and 116th Street location, okay, or exit. And there's an IKEA there, there's a Topgolf, there's tons of dining. The yard is there. You might have heard me mention that in some of my other videos. The yard is great because again, there's dining. Fishers is also doing an event center. So there's gonna be a lot of hotels and areas that you can stay and visit. And all of it's really great because I'm not gonna say it's walking distance because you'd have to travel across the highway. But if you stay on the one side, like I said, you've got IKEA and Topgolf and things to do. And then there's tons of dining. 1933 is an amazing restaurant over there. So like there's things that you can do and not have to go far. So then I took them to downtown Fishers. You can see this little green area. Let's see if I can zoom in. This green area, one of our favorite restaurants is Fort A Ray. You probably have heard me mention that in our video, but this is the main downtown of downtown Fishers. There is green space. It's where they hold a lot of their like family friendly events. They do like Touch a Truck, which is really fun for the kids. And they do like the 4th of July event that they do. And so many different things for Fishers. Most of the things are gonna be there. And so I wanted to make sure that they see that. There's the library there, the police station, the fire station is there, and we're getting a Cafe Pas de Choux. I mentioned that restaurant at the airport. We're getting a Cafe Pas de Choux in downtown Fishers. So it's just gonna be amazing. I'm really excited about that. There's just so much potential that is happening in that area. Next, I took you to Roy G. Holland Memorial Park. That's right here. You can see on the map. It's that big green space. Now, I can't take you to all the parks, and I try to kind of identify. There's 100 parks in Hamilton County. A lot of people, and all around here, this is a neighborhood. This is actually where my husband grew up. He lived in downtown Fishers as well, and it's called Sunblessed. And so it's great. As a kid, he would ride his bike to Roy G. Holland Memorial Park and hang out with his buddies, kick a ball around. There's tons of area for like playing soccer, throwing a football. Like there's just so much to do. Then we're gonna head more north to Conner Prairie. Now Conner Prairie, the only reason I'm showing this is it is a prominent living museum. It actually is one of our favorite places. I would get a membership every year. What's really great about Indianapolis, there's all different places you can get memberships. The zoo, Conner Prairie, the Children's Museum, like there's a bunch of different places that we used to rotate those each year. So I would get a Conner Prairie pass for 1 year, then I would get the zoo. And so it's great for kids and families to be able to, I would take the boys, we have 3 boys, and so I would take the boys to Conner Prairie and they would run around outside. There's indoor areas if they want to play, and it just gave me as a mom some relief and a place for them to go and experience stuff and hang out, and it's huge. You can see here, it's along the White River, and they actually have purchased the land here too, so they're going to be expanding and just really bringing more to the community and having opportunities. Okay, so next up from Conner Prairie, we're gonna head north to Noblesville. Now, Noblesville, I've mentioned in a lot of my videos. For this client, one of the prominent areas I want to show them is downtown Noblesville. It's probably the best downtown that feels like a true downtown. So I actually don't even know. Maybe I can zoom in on downtown. But so you head downtown. Actually, let me go back a second because the reason I took this client to down 37, because you can actually go down Allisonville is one of the main roads that could get you to Noblesville. But I wanted to take them down 37. 37 is the corridor or the road that a lot of people go from Fishers to Noblesville or north. Okay. And the reason for that is there's tons of, again, shopping and dining, but not shopping as in like mom and pop shops, right? We're talking about Meijer, Walmart, your bigger ones like Hobby Lobby, Best Buy, Kohl's, Staples, like the big ones, right? And then you've also got, you know, like pet stores and stuff like that. So that's kind of like the bigger stores. There are some smaller stores that are along there. And then there's, of course, dining like Chili's and Chick-fil-A. I'm literally spacing on places that are along there. But if you drive along there, you're gonna see them all. But I wanted him to kind of see all of those shops and all of how close and everything is. Downtown Noblesville, it is a square with the city center sitting in the middle. It's a beautiful building. And so it's just a great, again, another location that you could park and spend an afternoon with your family to go to. They have antique shops. They've got an amazing game shop that's downtown Noblesville. They've got an amazing ice cream shop. Everybody loves the ice cream shop downtown Noblesville. There's a coffee shop that's one of my favorite, Noble Coffee. But then there's a farm to table restaurant. And then, you know, different, like just shops. Like if you want clothing or if you want plants, like there's just so much in downtown Noblesville. And they have the little, like if you want to take pictures for photographers, it's a great spot for photographers to take pictures. It's just really quaint. So I wanted them to see downtown Noblesville. Another great thing about being in Noblesville is there's Morris Reservoir, which is another great lake, kind of like I mentioned Geist. Not a lake, again, you're gonna hear me keep saying lake. It's a reservoir, but it's bigger than like a man-made pond or a retention pond. Like you have boats that can go fast. You can have sea-doos and all sorts of stuff. So water activities can be done there because it's a bigger reservoir, not lake. Anyways, so I wanted to show them that. That's one of the prominent areas. And then we headed over to Westfield. Honestly, there's not a whole lot to see in Westfield. I took them to Grand Junction, which is a newer park that they've built in downtown Westfield. There really isn't a downtown. There's one stoplight. So if you blink, it's kind of like that old saying like, don't blink or you'll miss the city. Well, you kind of can miss the downtown Westfield area. They're doing a great job of really trying to build it out by doing Grand Junction. That was one of the things they're trying to promote, bringing, you know, businesses and restaurants and shops and stuff. So that's a great, if you're still wanting kind of that feel, it's in progress, but there are still some shops. Actually, one of my favorite plant shops is downtown Westfield. So then I took this client to Grand Park Sports. That's really what Westfield is mostly known for. It is a mega sports campus, which has pretty much every sport that you can think of and just tons of fields and indoor and basketball, volleyball, soccer, not track. Okay, maybe they don't have everything. I don't think they have track. But they have all of the other sports. And honestly, it's so really renowned that people come from all over the country to come to sporting events there for their kids. I love it because it's so close, because when we go there, we find that people are coming from Illinois and Ohio and Kentucky, and they go from much further from that, but it's crazy that some of the teams as to where they come from. So anyways, I wanted to show this client Grand Park. They wanted to kind of see, because they've got young kids, they wanted to know what that was going to be like. So this is 31. That's the road that I mentioned. That is another road that kind of connects a lot of other like northern Michigan. Same with 421. That's another one that goes up to Chicago. A lot of people, if you're from the Chicago area, which a lot of people actually do relocate from Chicago to Indiana, 421 is pretty much the road that you're gonna take. So, okay, so let me zoom in. We went to the Clay Terrace is an outdoor mall in Carmel. And again, 31 also feels like 37 that I took you on. There's again those big shops, the big Walmart, Target, Hobby Lobby, Best Buy, and then you also have Clay Terrace, which is an outdoor mall, and so that has all of your, you know, little shops that feels like a mall, right? Like a traditional mall. There's some higher end things, some lower end things, and yeah, it's just kind of a great little outdoor mall. So heading then south from Clay Terrace, we went to the Carmel Arts and Design District. Now, if you're someone that has been looking or exploring Indianapolis or possibly moving here, you probably came upon Carmel, not Carmel, which I do have some clients that are from California that are like, it's so hard to say the difference because I hear Carmel, but it is Carmel, the roundabout capital of the United States. So just remember, by the way, when you get here, you're going to do a lot of roundabouts. But the Carmel Arts and Design District is an amazing area. Carmel's done a phenomenal job. Again, another quaint area where you can do local shops. There are also like art galleries and of course like clothing shops. There's a meat locker there that is amazing. And Bub's Burgers is there. So again, there's a bunch of dining and shopping, and so you can go and explore. Then you head to the, again, more south to the Palladium or the Center for the Performing Arts. It's probably the most prominent outside of downtown Indianapolis where arts are really put on, because you've got the Palladium where they have, you know, operas and musicals and plays and orchestras and all sorts of activities that you can go and do. One of the great things about being in this area as well is one of our favorite hotels is there, the Carmichael. You've got Cake Bake, a well-known cake restaurant. It's phenomenal. You'll have to get reservations because they book out real fast. And then Chris Kindle Market is down there. So that's another thing that Carmel puts on. It's free. There is a big ice skating rink that they put out. And so it's fun to be able to take the kids and have them see kind of like the German heritage, right? And be able to explore. And again, there's shops, there's, you know, clothing shops and art shops and all sorts of different things. So it's just fun, again, to be able to like park, walk around and see and be entertained. So as we head to our final location, we're heading to Zionsville. Now, Zionsville isn't Hamilton County, but it is a really cute, again, downtown area with, you know, cobbled streets and again, restaurants and shops. And I just wanted to give you, as someone who's moving to the area, kind of an idea of an exploration of the north side. Now, if you are wanting to receive a personalized map or tour like this one I've shown in today's video, of course, don't hesitate to contact me. My phone number and email address is in the description below. And if you're thinking of moving to the Indy area within the next, say, 2 weeks or 2 years, I would love to help and be your trusted Indianapolis real estate resource. And if you liked the video, click that like button. And if you don't want to miss any other upcoming videos on the Indy metro area, make sure to click that subscribe button as well. That's it for me. Hopefully you enjoyed, and I'll catch you in the next one.